Coming up in part 2 of this week's Goal Show, Sydney FC go in search of a much-needed win in the A-League. And champions Anderlecht look to make it 10 in a row in Belgium. Welcome back to this week's Goal Show. Still to come, the Newcastle Jets bid to make it back-to-back wins in the A-League. And highlights from the final round of games ahead of the winter break in Belgium.
Top faced bottom as the Central Coast Mariners travel to Sydney in the A-League on Thursday. Sydney had taken just 10 points from 13 games and struggled early on. Daniel McBreen and Joshua Rose both carved out opportunities as the Mariners started brightly.
Here's Deju and he's on the ball. Here's Rose on target.
Central Coast were aiming to stretch their unbeaten run to 10, but were lucky not to fall behind late on as Ryan Grant saw his shot come back off the bar.
Grant to woodwork.
That should have served as a wake-up call for the Mariners. Instead, Sydney scored with their next attack. Brett Emerton's emphatic header sparking scenes of joy among the home fans. Central Coast's frustrations boiled over as they had 2 men sent off late on, as Sydney and Alessandro Del Piero claimed their first home win under new boss Frank Farina.
Western Sydney Wanderers travelled to Perth Glory knowing a positive result would move them up to 3rd, but it was the home side who dominated for long periods at the Patterson Stadium. Yet the deadlock was broken against the run of play when Kosovo-born Labanot Hiliti struck for the visitors before half-time.
Well tracked, well risen, cuts inside him and Vandenbrink just leaves him as well.
Glory continued to keep Kovic busy as both Shane Smeltz and Liam Miller tested the Wanderers' shot stopper.
Bends in the ball and Kovic has missed it. Did he get a glove to it, the keeper?
Eventually, their efforts were rewarded when Nick Ward fired in the equaliser 3 minutes from time.
Superb! Absolutely superb from the sun.
Despite piling on the pressure, Glory couldn't find a winner, and the Wanderers held on for a point.
Following a 6-1 thrashing in their previous game, Adelaide United were determined to bounce back when they hosted champions Brisbane Roar. A Michael Theo error nearly let them in early after Bruce Jeet's low shot. Vasard Berisha then forced a terrific reflex save from Eugene Galekovic at the other end minutes later.
The free header!
Second bottom at the start of the day, Brisbane were dominating possession but creating few chances, although Ben Halloran did force another good save from Galekovic late in the first half. It took a special individual effort from Mitch Nichols to finally break the deadlock after half-time.
Nichols now into the area. Mitch Nichols has done brilliantly. Enrique!
The Raw forward beating 2 defenders before teeing up Henrique for the easiest of finishes.
Have the reward.
It was just a second goal of the season for the Brazilian. Adelaide hadn't lost at the Hindmarsh Stadium all season but failed to muster a challenge in the final half hour. Brisbane holding on for a 1-0 win which moves them back towards the top 6. Adelaide losing consecutive matches for the first time this season.
The final round 13 games saw Melbourne Victory come up against the Newcastle Jets. The home side hit the front early. New Zealander Marco Rojas on target from distance. Archie Thompson made it 2 for the hosts on the stroke of half-time, with a neat finish after good work from Billy Selesky and Rojas.
Right before the break, perfectly executed again by the dynamic duo for the victory.
The Jets were much improved in the second period and another long-range effort halved the deficit after 63 minutes. Ruben Zadkovic finding the back of the net with a well-struck low effort. Newcastle were then level just 9 minutes later. Emil Heskey with his 7th A-League goal via the crossbar.
All the way back come the Newcastle Jets.
But the Victory fans were singing again when Rojas grabbed the winner 16 minutes from the end. Another excellent goal sealing the points at AAMI Park and the second straight win for Melbourne Victory.
What a finish from the little Kiwi.
Elsewhere in the A-League, Wellington Phoenix beat Melbourne Heart. 2 goals from Jeremy Brockie helping the New Zealanders to victory. So this is how the A-League looks ahead of the New Year fixtures this week. Central Coast 2 clear at the top after winning 8 of the 13 games they've played. Sydney are off the bottom, replaced there by Melbourne Heart.